everybody, my name is Matthew, and my story is strange enough to forget about a part where we literally dip into a public toilet. And it's about summer camp, yeah. My parents didn't bring me to summer camps very often. The exact just once. They both had a big vacation, which just only took for the summer months, and we're here as a family. So until I was 14, I even such harsh places do exist in our world. To get it right, I had that with my classmates, but I think they're just kind of inventing them. And then it happened that my dad changed his job, and we don't have any opportunity to travel together anymore. My mom had to adjust to it, and I was studying at the time. And when my parents left, I was left with a woman who lived in that place in that time. She cooked, checked my homework, and kept an eye in the house. When we're in our country, you can't really get alone for a long time before you're 16. Things as serious as possible here. One complaint, that kid is in the foster family. So technically, this employed woman could be called a nanny, but it seemed to me that a nanny for a 14-year-old guy is, well, kind of weird. But my summer vacation didn't end well there. Especially trying with them, they decided to try the well-known summer camp, located in the very some kilometers from the city. There were things about this camp, from those kids eat breakfast like beefsteaks, celebrating many years of anniversary. So after the kids they fed them, they breathed fresh air, and cons they couldn't be devoured by monsters. My parents decided it would be less probable along this polluted city, so he decided to send me to the camp. I couldn't say I was totally delighted. Personally, I'm really from this camps. As for our class, only the kids who got bullied all the time in the camps. I'm not afraid to tell them anything. That's why we're here. Some quiet kids usually turn to the memories in the camp and turn gray very early. The fact is, I was at home. I was not obviously or in wild conditions. And for me, this trip was not a vacation. It was just a like Mad Max style. The bonus events advertised me with our barbed wires on top. At least it was not on high voltage. I was ready for the worst trip. Not more, not less. I was ready to scuffle, to fight, to not knowing my... And guard me barbed it like a dragon in a cave. I even took in Kim's in my pocket and my dad gave it to me. And then my parents packed my battle suitcase and drove off. It was more like a prison or mental asylums. Understand. If kids traffic? No, tickets are quite expensive. But why do employees don't understand for this camp? Maybe a steampunk and a most apocalypse were the scouting. I was really impressed when I saw. The camp by itself is a small business. It's accompanied about 20 kids and some leaders. On one hand, the administration building, a medical center to unity, a large dining room, sports complex, was so crumbled and rusty or some you can instantly tell it's just something worse. These are the chiefy ribbon with the sign "Do not enter." But the most funny and amazing sight, where is the toilet? The toilet itself was to have with holes in the floor. Even the smell this wonderful place. Showers, however, despite all my fears, it was normal. I want to say we're foolish, but quite cool. There were 3 other guys who lived in and told me to rest, knowing and then Paul, one of my roommates, said someone was looking at us through the window. we're just reading scary stories at the time, so everyone was just send us finding it because of his fear. But no, when we were also came to look there, we actually see a dark figure not far from our windows. I real misty daylight because it was the main part. According to the street sign the door, it was earlier as a kind of storeroom, and then apparently the administration had nowhere to put the kids, and well, we were very scared at that time. Night horror stories, maybe ghosts for teens, yeah, and then found in trouble because almost every night someone was sitting in a window or on the wall at some face site or some strange places, and something else was happening. We're going to even the camp leaders, but as we got out from your work, it was a shame because and we're caught by the only guys and told them things were not in common and very strange things, which of course I kept quiet in every possible way, are happening in our house before really. That night you can scare yourselves in this ritual. For this, you need to make a special stink bomb and fume you give your room with it. And then nobody will bother us to shift. But to make a stink bomb better in a toilet, not to be caught by households. Yeah, it was a stupid joke. The funniest thing was that on the recipe will look me occasionally. We can steal from the dining room. Well, the next night, went for our business. Getting to the building, it's fine. The building's not really closer tonight. It was difficult not on the flashlights, but we coded it for somehow. Nobody threw up in the night, the toilet. And then something went wrong because the recipe of the stink bomb was so weird, and our was in a hurry to smoke up. Instead, it suddenly began to hiss, and then count from next to her shame, because the mixture suddenly popped with a soft pop, and the working decal above the cesspool just broke down. And we were, well, you got it, what position we were. The expression deep in shit became true for the four of us. What was even worse, the pit was really deep. It was designed not 4 feet for a month, and we were far from the bottom. In fact, there was no one to it, just stone walls and heads. You know, don't try to imagine it, honestly. I still feel sick when I named it. We were beginning to die of stress and shame. But just then, the camp leaders came and one of the guards arrived. And through the grief, we were pulled out. However, immediately after various places, he tracked us to the camp headmaster and called our parents. We don't tell you what the older guy said. That's how we want to protect ourselves from ghosts. But something went wrong. Then the older guys were dragged to the headmaster, and the injury was revealed. There was a nice quiet place where there was smoke or raining with the girls at night. And they exposed them. They just were trying to scare us, writing everything out the mysticism. And even though I have the recipe at all, they downloaded the first garbage that came from Google and gave it to us. Everything we were really going to make a smoke bomb. The four of us didn't see. And the reason for the fact that our parents had to pay on us while facing the toilet. No, just kids are evil. We exposed them. They just mock us and bully us all the time. Well, we're about to go a treat. Or rather, just call our parents and sob the phone to ask to get us back. We don't talk either. Personally, I'm really still madly ashamed of this sins of ours. And I don't. The fact is, we're on the street. I just run across the side of the road and pretend that we know each other. After this story, my parents sent me to the camp because the kid with supervision made things with stupid things. From that time on, my mom was arranged and took turns on the vacation. Honestly, I didn't understood why now, but my dad said at the end and worse, toilet collapse. That's how I was on vacation until I turned 18. The moral is quite obvious. Kids, if you think you're being attacked by monsters, it only seems to you and it isn't real. Monsters don't exist. And Santa doesn't exist. And those of you or something bad, write in the comments when you think and experience them. Like me, I hope you had fun. But don't forget lessons, or at least check the formula. All the best!